Australia, the US, and the UK have announced a new trilateral program that is perhaps one of the most significant security partnerships of this decade. A very happy morning to another presenter here, respected senior master, teachers, and all my dear friends. Today, it's Sagar going to speak on the topic AUKUS. First, let me tell you what is AUKUS. It stands for Australia, UK, and US and aims to help modernize the primary beneficiary. Australia over the coming decades to take over the security challenges in the Indian Pacific, Indo-Pacific. The plan is to give access to the cutting edge military techniques to Australia by its two supporters or two partners, including futuristic capabilities like artificial intelligence and quantum technologies. Who is it aimed at? Though not spelled out explicitly, the partnership seeks to check on the growing China that has been asserting with military muscle with its military muscle in the recent years. From the South China Sea to the border with the India in Ladakh. The rapidly expanding Chinese Navy, as described by US officials as the fastest growing military buildup since World War II, is backed by Beijing's strong economy. What is the first big step? The US and the UK will share the technologies and construct the nuclear powered submarines with Australia. At least 8 nuclear powered submarines will be constructed, but conventionally the armed submarines will be operated by the uh, Australian Royal Australian Navy. This could make Australia the first nation that does not have a nuclear weapon program but will operate the nuclear powered boats. Canberra has emphasized that it does not plan to have nuclear weapons, but the submarines are essential as they have the characteristic of speed, stealth, and unlimited endurance that is essential and uh, maritime interest. Australia will enter a select club of nations with such submarines. The others include India, Russia, France, and China, besides the US and the UK. What is the future of AUKUS? Australia will acquire long-range capabilities for its armed forces. In the next decade, it will acquire Tomahawk missiles and joint air-to-surface standoff missiles with a range of 900 km, long-range anti-ship missiles, and precision strike guided missiles for its land forces. Where does India stand? Besides having a nuclear arms arsenal, India has an indigenous nuclear powered submarine project in which two boats are already functional. Besides, it has a long term arrangement with Russia for leasing of nuclear powered submarines as well. India would, however, welcome the strengthening of its Quad partner Australia that has a large maritime responsibility and is a key ally with when it comes to sharing of information and intelligence on the movement of Chinese forces in the region. Thus, I would like to conclude. Thank you.
Good morning to you all, respected senior master sir, esteemed teachers, and all my dear friends. Today, I am Cadet Gurraj from class 11, representing House, going to speak on the topic the reality of petrol price hike in India and solutions to this issue. Recently, in India, the petrol price rose to a century mark, and more than half of it, to be precise, two-thirds of it is tax. In the next few minutes, instead of blaming each other, I will be focusing on solutions to this issue. The problem is, out of what we pay as tax, only 33% is its cost, and the rest is tax. So, the solutions to this issue are bring petrol and diesel under GST. If petrol and diesel are bought under GST, the price for the whole country would be same and can be brought to rupees 75 rupees per liter for petrol and rupees 69 rupees per liter for diesel. And solution number 2, reduce dependence on fuel. India has the second highest number of tobacco users in this world, and 27 crore Indians use tobacco. If the government can take measures to increase the tax on tobacco products, it can earn 50,000 crore money extra every year. In India, the smokeless BDs are taxed at 49%, cigarettes are taxed at 63%, and BDs are taxed at just 22%. So, by increasing the tax on tobacco products, we can earn more money, and the tobacco and its products are killing the country as well. But it is not an extra burden for anyone, as the tobacco and its products are not the essentials. Just to conclude my speech, thank you.
Very pleasant morning to you all, respected senior master, teachers, and all my dear friends. Today, it's me, Ket Ajay, up here on the dais, going to speak on the topic anti-submarine warfare. Anti-submarine warfare is a branch of warfare underwater that uses surface warship, aircraft, submarines, and other platforms to find and destroy enemy warfare, enemy submarines. Such typical operations are carried out to protect friendly shipping, coastal facilities, coastal facilities from submarine attacks, and to overcome backlands. Successful anti-submarine warfare operations are typically involves combinations of sensors and weapon technologies, along with effective effective strategies and along with effective development strategies and sufficient trained persons. Highly sonar is highly sonar is used for detecting, locating, and tracking enemy submarine warfare. Sensors are therefore a key element of anti-submarine warfare. The common common ways for attacking submarines includes tripods and novel mines, which can both be launched by area of air, surface, and underwater platforms. At the beginning of 20th century, the anti-submarine warfare technologies and submarines themselves were primitive. During First World War, during First World War, the submarines deployed by impulsive German proved themselves to be capable of striking a target even on Atlantic Ocean. Accordingly, multiple nations embarked on research into devising more capable anti-submarine warfare. Just to conclude, thank you.
A very happy morning to one and all present here. Respected Senior Master Sir, esteemed teachers, and all my dear friends. Today, it's I, Kat Azim, representing Adil Shahs, here in front of you all to speak on the topic education system in India. Education can make people easy to lead but difficult to drive, and also make it easy to govern but impossible to enslave. This is true that without a proper education, a man is a shade better than an animal. Thus, true education is a drawing out of the mental faculties, and it is essential for leading a happy life. India has a great heritage of knowledge from many years. Knowledge has been flowing throughout. Many scientists, mathematicians, astronauts, and many other professionals have done many kinds of research and inventions. It's a fact that our education system in India is not lack of reforms and improvement are making quite boring and ineffective. People blame this orthodox education system. The image of the people on students and teachers has been made so reflective by the system. Current system of education is appear on the burden, the most burden. Some aspect of our education is focusing only on book and paperwork. Just wonder, why are schools not making paper-free education? Education should be imparted through computer-assisted techniques in today's world. All the tasks in the education system to be made totally computerized. With the invention of free education, India is degrading its level of education. In the scenario that all the children are going to school, but not all the children get to learn that subject. In a survey, it was found that government schools, which aim is to give free education, only 5 out of 30 students of class 5th were able to up to the mark, and the rest were not even able to give a correct answer of a class 3rd maths problem. Many policies have been introduced by Government of India to overcome the drawbacks of our education system. It's a great beginning. Although education has come a long way and has still been need to do a lot more in the coming days. Thank you. This is Sagar Azim Sanivar from Paradise. Thank you.
Very good morning to everyone, respected senior master, teachers, and all my dear friends. Today it's I Cadet Rohit representing Uday House would like to brief you about the S-400 defense system. S-400 is a long-range surface-to-air missile defense system, which is one of the most advanced air defense system in the world, designed by Russia. It has a tracking capacity of over 600 kilometers and is capable of destroying targets like incoming aircrafts, missiles, and even drones within a range of 400 kilometers. Each S-400 system is known as a battery, which consists of a long-range radar, a target acquisition radar, a command post vehicle, and 2 battalions of launchers, each launchers having 4 missiles. These are mounted on multi-axle and multi-wheel carriers, which are even capable of moving on uneven terrains. Now coming to India's deal to the purchase of this S-400 system. During the BRICS summit held in 2016, India and Russia signed an intergovernmental agreement for the purchase of 5 units of the S-400 system. It was a 5 billion US dollar deal, which approximates to 40,000 crore Indian rupees. The Russia has started supplying the system earlier this week, and some parts of the system have already arrived in the country. But the delivery brings the India a US threat of imposing sanctions under the Act CATSA, which is countering America's adversities through Sanctions Act. It was passed by the US to counter the countries which are involved in trade with the Russia. In the month of March, US Secretary of Defense Lloyd Austin had raised the issue against India for the planned procurement of S-400 from Russia. But the government of India has tried explaining the US on multiple occasions that the deal was already in progress before the CATS Act came, which was in 2017. And officially it was signed in 2018. Moreover, India's stance is that the CATSA is only a US law and not the one by United Nations. These diplomatic settlements are still being discussed and debated. But however, the first batch of the S-400 system is expected to be delivered to India by this year end and installed at the western border of the country. Adding this defense system to the India's armory is no doubt a big achievement and advancement in the country's security and defense. And over 100 Indian Air Force personnel are being trained on the operation of this S-400 air defense missile system. With this, I would like to conclude my talk. Thank you.
स्कूल खड़े हो जाओ।